You are based on the West Coast, so you saw the moment that Will Smith went up and slapped Chris Rock. Most of us on the East Coast woke up to that news. What was your first thought? I mean, did your phone just blow up?
Okay. So we had friends over for dinner at our house. So we were doing that thing, kind of eating and watching the Oscars. And then I just started getting text after text after text about Chris Rock and Will Smith. And we went and rewound it on the TV. And it was, I am stunned. And in a show where lots of crazy things have happened, this was something that the Academy definitely, this is not a moment to remember that they want people to remember. When you see that moment and it's so raw and so angry, to me, it seems like a rebuke on all these things the Academy has been trying to alter over the past few years. Let's remember that they have excised people. They've excised Bill Cosby, Roman Polanski from their ranks. They've preached this message of equity.
So Janice, do we think that Will Smith will get his Oscar taken away? Is that a possibility here?
I think the panic and terror that was going on behind the scenes after that moment happened had to have been just pure chaos. And remember, you not only have the Academy, you have Disney, the most family forward corporation in Hollywood, trying to figure out how to address this moment. And I feel like they did it really poorly. To the fact that Will Smith, who they knew was going to come out and be awarded the Best Actor Oscar, they let him sit there and come out and give this sort of tearful apology and say he was just acting like Serena and Venus's dad would have, and then he got a standing ovation. I think really crazy, and revealed a lot of things that I think people don't like about the hypocrisy of Hollywood.
Yes, I think that's a perfect segue here to the shifting tides within Hollywood, because if we take a look at the bigger significance of the awards, not so long ago, Steven Spielberg made a big deal between streaming and theatrical releases, and he was on the record as saying that Netflix should be competing for Emmys and not Oscars. And of course, you had Coda, which is on Apple Plus, TV Plus, come out and win Best Picture. How significant is this for the Apples and the Netflixes of the world?
I mean, this whole thing was everything about the show reveals the sea change in Hollywood. So this is the first primarily streaming movie that won Best Picture, and the fact that it was Apple TV and not Netflix says a lot. And it's also almost a watershed moment for movie stars. Let's look at who is in Coda. None of those people are household names.
Correct.
It cost $25 million to make that movie, or to acquire that movie for Apple TV. Netflix, their movies do not cost that little, and they spend hundreds of millions of dollars marketing their movies for Best Picture, and those movies were loaded with stars: Benedict Cumberbatch, or for Don't Look Up, Leonardo DiCaprio, Jennifer Lawrence, and this tiny little movie that said something small but powerful ended up being the spoiler at the party.
So Janice, when you look at how Hollywood spends its money and how Hollywood gets behind certain productions, how will these Academy Awards change the way that Hollywood decides which productions, which films to really, really push and promote?
Well, we are already in a period with streaming where Wall Street has decided for the streaming services that what their strategy is going to be. There's not an endless pool of money that to keep growing their audiences, and so you're seeing streaming services already, particularly Netflix, who is the leader in the space. And you've seen Netflix. Anecdotally, we're hearing that they're cutting back on the spend on shows. I just heard yesterday about 2 A-list projects with big name actors, one actor, one actress, that did not get a series order. They could not get a buyer for their shows. These streaming services, especially Netflix, the only way they're growing, we've seen this with Disney Plus and with Netflix, is to grow internationally and to grow cheaper.
Okay, so perhaps we have seen peak television, as so many people have warned about. For Apple specifically, does this kind of recognition for Coda lead to a concrete economic benefit? I mean, can you count on Apple getting more subscribers, X number of subscribers because of this win?
There are definitely going to be people who come and check out Apple TV Plus now. I think unlike the pure streamers like a Netflix or a Paramount Plus or an HBO Max, Apple doesn't care. Like they this is not their primary business. This is their business is to get you to stay on Apple devices longer and find the value in Apple devices. So the rounding error of buying a Coda or any other prestige project they want, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.